Everybody, welcome to the second episode of the yet to be named crypto podcast with myself, Chris Wolfpup, and Simetime. How are you doing today, Simetime?
Doing fantastic, sir. How about yourself?
I'm doing okay. It's been a, a pretty eventful week in crypto.
It has
Uh,
been. It has been for sure.
so we'll jump into that really soon. I just want to mention real quick, we had a few comments, but nothing with what names are recommended that I saw personally. I'll have to relook, but yeah, make sure you shoot your comments on what you think our podcast should be called. Other than that, I guess we'll just jump right in then.
Yes,
Um,
sir.
and I think I kind of want to start with something that maybe not is as big of a deal I think as it should be when looking in a project is the actual community and how they actually treat other members. Something just happened not too long ago with Polar that made that that kind of made this more of a reality. Like not to me personally, but could affect some people. And before I explain what I'm talking about, Slime Time, what's your thoughts on 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 how the community acts on a project that you're personally looking
What I look for is welcoming, nice feel when you get into the Discord communities, or it could be Telegram too at the same time. I know a lot of these node projects they use Discord. Some other projects they use Telegram, but very open, uh, very welcoming community is always nice. People that are willing to answer questions that they may get, you know, 20 times a day, and it may be the same question that they have to answer over and over. And that they answer each time with grace and humility and humbleness to the point to where they know that, hey, people are just getting to know this. So, that's, I don't like it when, you jump in and let's say the Discord or the community's been up for a little while and it's your first time jumping in. You didn't get in the beginning, and you didn't get um, in the middle or something. It may be down the line, and you get in. You start like you go through the announcements, and I'm not saying that there are some that don't read, they don't check the announcements, they don't look at the FAQs, they don't look at the links, they don't do their own research basically. And so then they just jump in and ask questions, and I get that. There's people out there that do that, and what I'm getting at is that the people have done their research and they're just not quite getting it. There's something that isn't mixing for them, and then they ask a question, and then they get like kind of a crude answer back, like, "Why didn't you check the announcements?" And then you go into detail about everything, and then you basically show them, "Hey, I did do all this and this and this," and then we're all here to learn. It's we're all here to help each other. It's not about you know um, I know I'm taking over your little bit here, but
at. Oh, you're good.
I'm pretty strongly, like, I feel strongly just like you do about a community, and where it should be open, it should be welcoming, you should be there to help each other, no matter what. No matter if somebody comes in like all ticked off because everybody's irritated right now because market's down, the projects aren't working because the utility hasn't shown up yet, and so everybody's ready to bite each other's head off because they're losing money. And so,
So I actually had an incident yesterday on a project that I did have high hopes for, honestly. I really did. I liked the project, and um, I don't know. I'm not going to say the name of the project,
mhm.
but because this isn't really project specific, this is more a generalized topic. Um, I mean, you could check my Twitter. I did post something about it if you're really that curious, but um, like I went in with it just launched, not even been a week, and there's a dump on it. And that doesn't surprise me because of lately it just seems like, for example, what happened with Leaf. Things dump. I mentioned Leaf. I'll just mention this. It's lava. Lava dumped
Yeah,
as well. And like all these other they're so few amount of protocols that will launch and then just not dump and just stay going. Maybe 5% from my estimations. I could be wrong. I'm not a mathematician. I didn't look at every single project. I am only one person and I try, but and I also fail miserably at that. Hence why I haven't looked at Project Europa yet, even though that's been on my back burner for about 3 weeks now,
Yeah.
which I am doing this week. I'm going to make myself do that this week, but this is completely sidetracking. What I'm getting at is I went into I was actually ready to throw in a little bit of money. Of course, and I'm sure a lot of people who follow me know I don't like going big, especially at the beginning of stuff, because you never know what's going to happen.
Right.
I've seen so many rug pulls, so many scams, so many bad projects. Very rarely will I actually go in pretty high on something. Um, so I went to go and throw, I think I was thinking like 20 or 30 bucks just to start building up to the bigger nodes themselves.
Right.
And I went in, the first thing I saw was someone saying, "Oh, well, why is it dumping on the first week?" I said, it's probably whales or people trying to emulate these malicious whales by getting in as early as they can, maybe getting lucky and getting it within the first seconds of the launch, which that's another thing. You can launch at 60 cents and within 5 minutes, it'll be like $4. I learned that with Etherstone. I'm still getting beat up from that with Etherstone, but once again, it was money that I wasn't counting on anything else. Um, so it's just leftover money, leftover profits.
Right.
But I mentioned that that's probably what's going on, and they said, "Well, they never seen this before." And um, I didn't. I want to say, "Are you blind?" But I
Ah,
didn't. I stayed very cordial and said, "Well, yeah, it's a common thing. This happened with Etherstone. This happened with Leaf. Just happened with this a few days ago." And one of the guys who he was a whitelister, so he had a red tag, and I thought
mhm.
for some reason for I was thinking that's a mod, and he
Yep.
goes in saying, "Oh, that didn't happen. There wasn't any whales. That can't happen with this protocol." And said, "Well, like I personally have 8 wallets. You can have a wallet limit, which they do, and I do like that idea. But
Right.
I personally have 8 wallets. What's going to stop me from setting up a bot on each one of those wallets, buying in, and then just selling slowly or drop all at once a week
Right.
later?" And he kept defending it and said pretty much anything I said was wrong. So I just said, "You know what? I'm sick of it. I feel like I'm being attacked at this point. So I'm just
Mhm.
going to leave now. Um, Anyone in my community, I'm going to let them know what happened. It's, of course, their choice if they want to do lava. Same with the voting of the community, but personally, I'm against it now. Although there was someone from the community that actually DM'd me personally and like apologized, and we talked, and so that kind of did build up some more trust in the community. But honestly, I'm still not 100% sure if I'm going to go into lava.
Right.
So like that there, community interaction, I think can play a big part on some people, and I think it should because my focus on anything I'm doing right now, with the exception of this, but hopefully it helps, is helping new people. And like people may not know stuff. So you may have someone who hears about this and is actually good enough, smart enough that they're going to join the Discord and talk to the people first. And then you have them, they're asking questions, but they may not know what a white paper is yet. And you're just going to get a response, "Oh, you need to see the white paper for this answer. You need to see, and every question, you need to see the white paper for this answer." And I don't know if you saw any of my white paper videos. Some of those videos go 30, 45 minutes.
Right.
I just did one for Bigfoot. It went almost an hour. Some of these white
Yeah.
papers are big.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So that's why I always try to answer what I can or do videos and point them people in the discords I'm into these videos. Because I hope it helps, but I do think community is a big thing, and there was a with the polar dip that happened today. Me and like 5 other people were like essentially playing referee of this one guy blaming the other guy for FUD, and we're trying to figure out like what's the devs doing, what can we do to help, and these two are just going at it, and it just it wasn't helping anything, and I mean, I hope it's not the case, but I wouldn't be surprised if some people decided they're just not going to be part of this community anymore, which overall is going to hurt the project.
Yeah, yeah, I definitely feel that. Um, I totally agree. Community is a big key role. Um, to me, community is what makes or breaks a project. If you don't have a community backing your project, you have no project. Yeah, you have nobody investing in your project, and so people are sitting there arguing left and right, um, and creating FUD, and then just making it a toxic environment. A lot of people, like I said, a lot of people are going to dip out. I don't have need to deal with this.
Uh,
I mean, the other interesting thing is that like you can have a great community, nobody fudding anybody, you know, kind of strict regulations somewhat, and everybody's helping each other out and all that kind of stuff. But then the project um, ends up being a rug. You so
Exodus was a perfect example of that. That was a really good community.
yeah. Well, and I thought Unicorn had a great community as well. I thought that I can't remember the actual, not the devs, but the main one. I think he was a little over the top, or she was a little over the top, which I don't know if it was a he or she. Um, but the community itself was great. Always got my questions answered whenever I was asking stuff, and it was in a good, cordially manner. And but community is to me one of the biggest keys. If you don't have a community backing it, you don't have um, you don't have a project. And the thing to me is that I think everybody's gotten so used to wanting to join Discord communities or Telegram communities and not be like, to me, there's more is just it's one thing to join and get announcements and stuff like that. And I'm not pointing fingers at anybody. I am I've done this myself. I've joined Discords just to get the announcements because sometimes they don't announce them on Twitter. And so I'm not technically involved or a part of it, but I feel like if it's a project starting up, get involved.
Yeah.
And
I,
I'm trying to do that. I'm trying to do this more myself. Just get involved, chat with the community, chat with the devs or the mods or whoever's there. Get involved, talk with them, get to know the community. The more they know you, the better you'll know them, and in the ways of how everything's going on. I
yeah,
mean, you're gonna learn. You're gonna
I'm
learn.
I'm definitely guilty of that myself. I have a lot on Discord because I'm always like I'm getting recommendations from our person, like the our Discord, like
Right.
the Wolf Pup Discord, and
Hmm.
so I'm joining these with, and I do fully intend to try to get as much information I can for my reviews. Um,
Right.
but I just have so many. I just don't have the time to go into every one of them. And I mean, the projects I really do like personally. Once again, that's my opinion and that's my situation. Could be different for you, so you may not like the project. Um,
Right.
but if it's one that I like, I'm gonna try and interact as much as I can. I'll try to pop in like once every 2, 3 days, with the exception of Project Europa, which I popped in like 2 weeks ago. Yeah, I'm looking to do a video for you guys. I want to learn about you. They give me some information. Okay, cool. I'll definitely check out the white paper. And something else comes up, something else comes up, something else comes
Right.
up. 3 weeks later, hey guys, I'm back. Nothing yet, but I actually had
Yeah.
one of the members I know from, I don't even know what Discord, honestly. I think we're in like 3 or 4 together. We
Hmm.
talk on occasion, and he goes, "Hey, Wolf Pup, you're everywhere, aren't you?" So, yeah, I'm definitely guilty of that. And I was actually trying to clear out the discords of, okay, this project is dead. This project just doesn't seem good. I mean, I would like to do a video on it, but I got more important videos that I have to do.
Right.
So I'm gonna remove this Discord, and it's definitely hard. I think if I end up getting like being able to do this full time with a decent income,
Right.
I think I'm gonna hire like 3 people to be me in the Discords. I would definitely let that be known, but
I can see that going on. Hey, be me, but be me. You know.
say like be honest. Say you're
Yeah.
not me, but be me.
Yeah. Ah. But
Yeah, there's
so
actually
talk.
sorry, I just have 2 more things on community if that's okay.
Yeah, I was gonna talk about something else on the community
Okay.
aspect as well. But go ahead.
Um, I do want to actually bring up the fact that I actually got a DM from someone who actually sees my videos and likes what I do. So he wanted to let me know what was going on, that he did get muted in the Polar Discord for something. It happened like right when I got there. He sent me a screenshot, and I'm probably going to cover it a little bit. But
Hmm.
but Shiblord did end up unmuting him. Um, I think a big thing, even unless they're in there to purposely cause an issue,
Yeah.
and that's a fact, not something you maybe suspect, you know that,
Hmm.
give them a right to give them a chance to speak their mind and find out some answers, because this
Yeah.
person is involved in the community, and he has nodes, and I'm glad to see Shiblord did unmute him. I'm not sure who muted him or why. He may have sent me that information that I just am forgetting about right now. But for all the mods out there, if someone's bringing up an issue and you don't like the question, or you may think it goes bad, answer it anyway and work with them to maybe resolve it. Don't mute them. That'll turn people off real quick on the project, I think.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And not
Um.
just not specifically aimed at Polar, because they
Yeah.
did
No.
resolve that, but
Yeah. They're not the only community that's done that. So.
yeah, what was it? There was one launch where I did want to watch it, so I got Telegram just for that. I asked
Hmm.
a question about, okay, I like this project. Gonna go in a little bit. I'm gonna test it out. It ended up not like it ended up rugging. I think I lost like $10. The prod like Unicorn, it was a good project, but the security just wasn't there. So that definitely
Yeah.
lowered what I was gonna put in for it. So I ended up
Gotcha.
losing like $10 on it. But I went into the Telegram and I asked, hey, so listen, I like your guys' project. I think we need to be more open, though, more transparent. Are you guys open for an interview? And then I get kicked, and then I get no answer. So I ask again, and I get kicked from the Telegram for
Hmm.
asking to see if they'd be open to do an interview. So if I could have pulled out my money, I would have, but it was actually
Yeah.
a pink sale, so I couldn't.
I gotcha. No, and going off community, you do, and when you get to know, people in the space, in the crypto space in general, let alone in discords, but on Twitter, and just having people around as you get to know them, you the community helps each other out, regardless if you're in the same projects or not, or vice versa. Like, we caught some great news about Contexa, um, before they were going to launch. I suppose I can't remember if it was actually going to be before. I'm pretty sure it was before because they hadn't launched yet. If I'm correct about that. Um, but great community, firing, finding out uh, issues, and exploiting them, and letting people know, hey, don't invest, because everybody's most people are good and they try to do things the right way. And then you got the ones that build and build and build and make everything look great. And, they're sleight of hand. They're trying to pull the rug out from under you without you even knowing it. And so the great thing there is that community came through, um, found the you know found the mishaps and found the bad things, and let everybody else know. So then that way, you don't lose money. And to me, that, as a crypto space as a whole, I feel like that's whatever majority of crypto space is trying to get to. we've had a few bad apples, if not several bad apples, over the last few
A
months.
battle orchard.
Uh, yeah, just a bad orchard or a bad tree. Um, that but everybody's still trying to help each other out, and that's where I think
Yeah.
eventually we'll get to that point to where we won't. And I could be totally wrong, but I feel like as a crypto space, if we continue helping each other out and trying to build the communities up and help and just continue to help each other out, because there's going to be new people coming in every single every week, every month. New people are going to finally like pull the trigger, start getting into crypto and investing, and they're not going to know where to go. And it's all up to the communities and people in the crypto space to help these people out, because if we don't help these people out as they come in, then basically we're saying, hey, we don't want crypto to grow, or we don't want crypto to become one of the best financial experiences, and to be able to help people gain financial freedom at some point in time in their life. Then what's the point, you know in my opinion.
That's exactly why I started the community I did.
Yeah,
To give people a chance to test it out and make sure they know what they're doing. Um,
right.
I really do try not to shill myself. I really do.
Well, I mean, it's not that you're selling yourself. You're making people aware. Hey, if you're out there and you're listening to us right now, and it's your first time just listening to something about crypto, hey, check out Chris Wolfpup on Twitter. He's got a Discord. The Discord's on Twitter. And the Discord is the entire community is completely about helping people out, learning crypto, learning, getting into the space. I mean, down from the basics of, hey, I don't even know how to download a MetaMask wallet. We can help you, or the Discord can help you.
Yeah, we actually did that yesterday with Marcel. We should have her on.
Yeah,
And then when we want to actually just give a good advertisement of us, because I saw what she put on in the Discord that I, with her approval, posted on Twitter. But
yeah,
yeah. So with that said, I do want to cut that off because
yeah,
this
yeah,
is
yeah.
supposed to be about news. So, but thank you again. Um, and I know I started it this time, sorry. But last thing I just want to say about communities, and I hate to sound like an old 80s sitcom, but we are one big family. Let's just get along.
Absolutely.
But yeah, the if you want to dive more into what happened with Contexia, and I do want to thank actually a member in our Discord, Mr. Use Case, for bringing that to our attention pretty quickly too.
Yeah, absolutely.
So thank you, Mr.
He
Use Case.
Yes, we thank you for that. So basically, he was talking with another guy who's pretty big in the crypto space. He was working with Thor nodes for Thor Financial now for a little while, and basically, he's the one who dug up some stuff basically about the multi-sig wallet that apparently I think everybody just lucked up in the fact that the people, I think they had a, what was it, one, two, three,
I
four, five,
think it was
six, I think.
I
I think
thought
it
it
was
was
like a
four
five out
fifth.
of,
I thought it was a four
it,
fifths. It might have been a
it might
five
be,
six.
I think it's 5-6. I think it was. It could be 4 5ths. I'm looking at
I know there's
like,
two community members. I just don't know how many of the team was in it.
it might have been a 7 8. I'm looking at least six addresses. So it might be a 5 6, but basically one of the
Actually, let me cut
members.
you off for the new people. Multi-sig is pretty much the funds used as liquidation. Generally, it's liquidation, but it could be other things too. But generally, it's liquidation are locked up in a wallet that you would need five, for example, 5/6 multi-sig. You would need five of the six keys assigned to that multi-sig wallet to be able to move any or transfer anything. I just wanted to put that out there in case there's people who are unfamiliar with what multi-sig is.
Right, absolutely. I'm glad you cut me off there, because I didn't even think about it. But it was a 5 6 wallet, multi sig. wallet, and basically the sixth member woke up to seeing something that had been executed, and it basically was a 10,000 K or 10,000 signed TX, which I'm thinking is a tax and
Transaction.
transaction. Okay, yeah. And each of those wallets was sent zero point 0.1 AVAX from the Contexa wallet. And basically, he did some digging and found it on Snowtrace and checked with the sixth member, and the sixth member never received the zero point 0.1 AVAX that the others had. And so they started digging some more, leading to conclude was that the multi-sig was rigged by the team and the community members, other than the sixth member, which makes them feel that the other community members that were a part of the multi-sig were fake, which concluded to being a con for the most part.
I mean, I know that that other sixth member that wasn't involved was a community member, but
Right.
not only are you doing this to your community, you're doing this to your team.
Yeah.
That is messed up.
Yeah, it's not good, and it doesn't help. It doesn't help. DeFi. It doesn't help crypto. And everybody's seeing all of these backstabbing, rug pulling, whatever you want to call them, con artists, just whatever. Like, it doesn't help. Like, why? Like, I understand people are greedy and people like money. I'm just as guilty because money makes the world go round. We have to have it in order to live, but to the point to where you're messing with your own team, like I just don't get that. I guess I'm just too old school to be like, hey man, I'm gonna smile at you the whole time while I'm stabbing you in the back.
I think we need more crypto projects developed by dogs, because I never met a dog that would lick your face, wag their tail, then tell the German Shepherd down the road how big of a jerk you are. I
Yeah.
wanted to say something else, but this is YouTube. Gonna be on YouTube,
Right.
so.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
But
it's bad. It's definitely bad, especially right along the line with all the the stuff that's been going on, the rugs
well,
and
I
the
mean,
dips, and it doesn't help with the dips either. Because basically right now with the node space itself, I think there's two, actually three. I'm sorry, three projects right now that aren't doing the nice mountain charts. Horde is one. Polar is another, even though they had a little bit of a dip today. And the other one, I think, is called Neighbors. I think that's or My
yeah,
Neighbor or Neighbors or something.
that was another one that I was considering looking at. Um, I honestly was gonna jump into that like immediately,
Hmm.
and do something because I misunderstood. I thought that they were investing in real estate, but they're investing in digital real estate, which is
Yeah.
still good, but completely different.
Oh yeah,
So I'm
absolutely.
like, okay, it's digital real estate. I'll review this when I have more time. This is not
Right.
what I thought it was. But and
But if
Horde
you
is
go,
just a little pricey for my books right now. What do you need? 10 Horde to actually get the node, and then it's
yeah,
like
10,
did
it's
they
a
did
thousand.
it? It's 95 to 105 now is their fixed rate.
I think so. I just looked at Horde today, and it was going to cost 1,074 Binance USD to get to 10 Horde. So it
Yeah.
was basically, that was going to come to, it's going to be about $1,100 basically just to get one Horde going. But what I was getting at is that all the rest of the node projects, other than those particular three, there might be one or two out there that, but every single one of them, like you were talking in the beginning, has that pump and dump, that nice mountain peak, and then they die down basically. But none of them had come and then sort of plateaued and kind of staying, other than those three. Every single one of them have definitely done the nice mountain peaks and come right back down. So the hardest thing I think right now is that everybody is still so untrustworthy to get into these node projects, and because the rug pulls, and because of the backstabbing, and because you don't trust anybody.
I
Um,
still I still find it funny that there are people that will you could probably find in every Discord, generally probably going to be new people. Is this tied to Ring?
yeah, I mean, and it's a possibility, you know.
I think I've seen that in Etherstone, and I'm pretty sure I've seen that in Polar Discords. And what was it? I actually just did a was it? I'm trying to think which project it was. I'm pretty sure it was Etherstones.
Hmm.
Um, I think I'm not 100% sure, but there was one project I did a review on where the white paper was more of a history book because they actually called out like they called out Thor and what they're doing, what happened to them, what the problem with them. They did it with Ring. They called out like four or five different projects, and they gave like it was ether stones because they're the ones that mix with reflection tokens with getting the vault.
Right.
And they went over like the history of a node, what's wrong with a node, why the and what happened with Thor. And then they did the history of reflections, which okay, I get it. I like the fact you're putting the history in, but I really didn't cover it on my video because honestly, the white paper videos are long as it is, and I was never a big fan of history class. Uh,
Hmm.
but I mean, it's good that it's in there, especially for people who don't know the history or what this feature actually is. But I do continue to see, is this related to Ring? And
Yeah.
I mean, I definitely understand apprehension after hearing about that, especially with newer people. But I think nodes are getting so big now. That's I think asking if you were part of Ring or if this is tied to Ring at all, it's I don't think that's necessarily needed, but of course, feel free to ask it. Hopefully, you're in a good community. I won't take offense to it.
Right. Absolutely. The and that's one thing I don't even ever think about is Ring. I try to keep it out of my mind when looking at all the rest of these things. Um, but no, and I do feel that nodes are always going to be around. I feel that they will exist, um, and I'm referring to both aspects of nodes. The real nodes, per se, the ones that actually,
They
you
actually
know,
hold the transactions and give you the
yeah,
fees.
yeah, the real ones,
I would
that
love to get an AVAX node, and with how AVAX price is, maybe it's something I could do in a month. Just slowly start building up AVAX.
yeah, get to that what 5,000.
Oh no, I'm not going to reach 5,000 AVAX anytime soon. I'm talking about the
Oh,
delegators.
staking is okay, okay,
That's the
okay,
word last week. I was
yeah,
trying to think. It's delegators. They'll delegate
delegators, gotcha.
the five minimum
Nah,
to a node.
see, I would love to be a validator. I'd love to have a validator.
Oh, I'd
Then
love to have 20 of them, but I don't own 18 skyscrapers in New York, so
right, right. But that's the nodes that I'm talking about. Those are the ones that will continue to build and last and be around because they do really well because they are the utility for the blockchains. These NASs and DASs, um, I feel like there's going to be a few um, that are out right now, and there may be some later down the road. But I feel like there'll probably be, maybe I'm feeling pretty optimistic about it. So I'm going to say 5 to 10 of them that will build the utility that is necessary to keep them going. And it may be, we may see that utility only last for a year,
and
2 years. We don't know.
yeah, if you
But
watched the episode last week, which is on my YouTube, which this one will be on YouTube as well, because I didn't get a chance to look at other platforms yet. Selling Xbox games is not a good utility.
Right.
Power,
Yes.
talking to you. I really hope that's still not in consideration.
Yeah, but no, talking about utility. So Project X, I can't remember if I talked about this last. I know I talked to you
You
about it, but I
mentioned
don't think.
Project X, I think, last week, I believe. I don't think we went too deep into it because
But I
we were
don't. But I don't
talking
think I
about
talked about
them
the
and Vapor doing
yeah the
the
blockchains.
chains. Yeah.
But I think in between then and now, Project X showed that they're bringing utility, as in that you can use your. They haven't launched it yet, but you're going to be able to use the token to purchase gift cards, which I think is a pretty interesting utility to bring to the table. I just don't know how exactly it's going to work, because I think that's what I was talking about, is that in order for that to happen, you're going to have to trade your PXT for a fiat of some sort to purchase that gift card, because I don't know that you can purchase gift cards with crypto yet.
Yeah, I mean, I think that well, the whole thing with video games not being a thing, I think that if the team actually buys it from a actual supplier and can get it at a decent price and then sell for PXT,
Yeah.
that could work if it's at a decent price. The reason I mentioned video games is I actually tried starting an online video game store. And at least, unless maybe you are an absolutely major retailer like GameStop or Walmart or Target, and you get the games directly from there.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if they can or not, but generally, most smaller ones, and this is why if you ever go to a video game store, they have a bunch of pre-owned games and they take in trade-ins of pre-owned games and actually pay pretty decent depending on the store. But the
Right.
reason being is I want to say it's like a 5 or 10% increase of what you're buying it for from a distributor to what you're selling it for brand new.
I got you.
So that rate is really not that great.
Yeah.
So that's why I don't think selling Xbox games power is going to work for you.
Yeah. I don't see that happening.
I could be
Um,
wrong, but at least that's what I found when I was looking at distributors. And I do
I,
have like 20 Wii's if anybody wants to buy one, I'll sell it to you really cheap. Just trying to clear them out at this point and just focus on crypto.
I'm not going to shill Chris Wolf up, but if you want a Wii, give me.
I'm not going to show crypto wolf up. I'll show my old systems I need to get rid of. So
Yeah.
DM me if you want one. A Fuji, a Fuji.
A Fuji. There you go. Yeah. No, but I feel though, if like I do think that's like one of the first steps of an actual true good utility, if it can work with the gift cards. I don't know how it's going to work, but that's to me that's something that will, that's a utility. That's a good utility to have if it can work, in my opinion. I just don't know how it's going to work.
Yeah, they're actually talking about this in the Polar chat when everybody after the boxing match was over.
Yeah.
They were actually discussing, or was it before? But they were discussing like what they could do, what the team could possibly do. One person brought up an idea of selling merch, and I just don't think merch is that huge of a utility that's really going to help. But if you could tie either merch or something you're selling to maybe a reward structure in a way,
Yeah.
kind of like how supermarket has their points, like gas
Hmm.
points. Like if
Yeah.
you could do it, like if you buy so much stuff, if you buy so much amount, you get so many points. And then you could
Right.
trade in these points for, say, one of the nodes. That
Yeah.
way they can't sell the node. So it's not going to really damage them that much when it comes to sell pressure. Yeah, they could sell the interest, but the money they're getting in from the merch itself coming in as fiat and being able to be distributed either into their own token or into their chain token to build up their treasury. At that point, you're not getting any sell pressure on your coin, but you're getting money in without the risk of a quick flip.
Right. I see what you're saying. Yeah, that could definitely work pretty well. I feel.
Guess we're getting close to 45 minutes. Did you have anything else you wanted to talk about with this? Any
Uh,
more things on utility? We'll extend if we have to. But I
uh,
think this is
no,
very important to know.
oh yeah, utility is definitely. Well, I mean, that's key. That's what's going to keep these things going. Is utility. Um, I think that was the only major one that I wanted to bring up was the that Project X was dealing with the gift card was the first big thing that I've seen so far, that somebody's tried to go kind of outside the crypto space itself, like in itself as a project to bring utility, um, other than than
Yeah,
in those in that realm of nodes.
I definitely like that if they can get the gift cards at a good price where it will be a really good benefit and really good coming in. Um, I just hope they're not saying like you have to actually buy. You said they're looking to make sure you have to buy with the PX token.
Yeah, to use the
See,
PXT token.
I'm not a huge fan of that because it really does depend on what they're gonna do. If
Yeah.
they're gonna do what has been done the last couple months, not regarding this, but regarding rewards or not rewards, regarding like the buying a node where they're taking some of that money and putting it into a treasury. It's I think a treasury is good. I think you need to get there in a way where you're not selling your coin to do it though. Like with this, if it was bought in fiat instead of PXT, like how Avalanche is doing their claiming in AVAX now opposed to their actual coin, where they could just
Right.
transfer it right over into the treasury itself. I would like to see that more honestly,
Hmm.
but I uh, I didn't really look into it too deeply. Um, I glanced at it after you told me about it, but
Hmm.
I would like to know where this PXT is going after they sell the gift cards, because that could essentially hurt the project more if they're using it in the way that it was being done previously to purchase nodes.
Well, it also could be going into the other favorite thing you like, and that'd be burning.
I still don't know about that. I just don't know how well it actually works. I want to see like actual proof that this is working.
Right.
And so far it's not there in my eye.
Maybe you just need to take a little bit of time and go over to the pulse chain test or the pulse chain test net.
That's the thing. It's a
And
test net. They can make that do anything they want.
true, true. I'll give you that.
I'm
But
talking real world experiences. Like you said, they're burning liquidity, so that may actually help, opposed to just
yeah.
burning a coin that has
Well,
millions
so
out there.
so I dove a little more deep into that. So it's not technically burning the liquidity. It's burning. So when you take so anytime you do a trade, whether you're doing a trade on the DEX for just token to token, or you're doing it to do liquidity pool, there is a percentage. I can't remember the percentage, that gets uh, taken out of that in the initial transaction, uh, of whatever it is, the trade or liquidity. And so there's a percentage that goes into its own contract. And so, um, that contract, when the person goes on to the buy and burn and basically clicks burn or clicks buy or clicks burn, I think it's burn, clicks burn, that contract basically takes those tokens that are in there, and you can click on whichever, and majority of it's out of liquidity transactions. Um, so you can click on the different liquidity, because it's on the page where it's got the different liquidity pairs, and basically the percentages that have been added up per that contract percentage, and then you click burn, and so it takes that a percentage of the token that is taken, and it buys Pulse X, which is the DEX token, and then it burns it. So it, in essence, buys its own token and burns it. So it's making it, you know, what do you call that? So basically, less of it. So it's supposed
Kind
to
of
be
like a
making it more
revert,
valuable.
kind of like a rebase in a way, but in reverse.
Yeah, for the most part. And so it does that per every transaction that happens. Is that little bit of percentage goes into that contract, and so anytime that happens, it just builds up until somebody clicks the burn button, and that just keeps and that's why they call it the buy and burn, because it buys PulseX and then it burns it. So it
I want to see it in the real world and
yeah,
actually
absolutely.
and I actually want to see benefits from a project that is doing it. Um, because
Hey,
right now
mid-May, hopefully. Mid-May, hopefully.
I'm not seeing any projects where burning really is beneficial as they claim it to be.
I got a little teaser because I'll have to dig into it a little more. I found out a day or so ago that there's a new project called liquidloans.io. If anybody wants to go take a look at it until the next week. But basically, people have been claiming that, of course, this is going to be on the Pulse Chain network. But basically, this liquid loans is basically replacing you having to do taxes. Is the mass
Like
concept that I've gotten?
government taxes?
Yes, government taxes, because you're not ever having to pull your actual tokens out and selling them
Okay.
for the most
Um,
part.
yeah,
That's something
that's
I got to dig
very,
into
very
later.
questionable to me.
It
Very
is.
questionable.
That's why I say I got to dive into it more. But it's the way it circulates and you stake it and all that kind of stuff. It's very interesting. But like I said, I can't fully feel comfortable talking about it because I don't know everything. But I feel I'd throw that teaser out there. Yeah, maybe
Yeah,
come
that
back
is,
for the next episode and get to talk about it.
and just keep in mind FBI or IRS may be listening. So
Hey,
you never know.
I'm just
That just
learning, man.
seems
I'm just learning.
extremely that just seems extremely questionable to me right now.
It does, and that's why I want to learn about it, because if it's actually like legit, which
I
that's
think I
far
like
from it.
I don't like jumping in on stuff really heavily. So I may have to wait till after tax season to really take a look at that one. I don't want to go to jail.
Well,
I'm not
it's
who
not
is it?
actually out there
Wesley,
right now. So it's
was it
so
Wesley Snipes?
yeah, Wesley Snipes was the one. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I don't want to be him. I wouldn't mind having his money, but I don't want to be him. Oh, does he
See,
even
but
have
see,
money
like,
now?
yeah, I'm sure he probably does. But see, like, I talk about something like that, but then when you sit there and say, well, hey, all you got to do is move down to Puerto Rico, establish yourself, live down there for 6 months, do all your
I mean,
taxes down there, and you don't have to pay capital gains tax.
I I'm not gonna make myself move somewhere to save some taxes. I like Jersey better than here, but yeah, if I move out of this country, it'd probably be to Toronto because I like that city. Or maybe uh, I've never been there yet, but I would like to check out. It's the capital of like Sweden or Denmark. Sweden, I
So,
think.
um,
Copenhagen.
yeah, Copenhagen. Yeah, that's
But
Denmark. Copenhagen is
oh,
Denmark.
okay. One of those three. They're always ranked like the three happiest countries in the world for some reason. Wondering why.
Switzerland, man. Go to the go to the
Because
most messed up
it,
banks
it,
in the world.
it's all the Swiss chocolate, though. That's why
Yeah.
they're happy. And the cheese. My
Yeah.
cat would love living in Switzerland because of all the cheese.
There you go.
Okay, so I guess we should start wrapping up. I did want to just go over something else, but we'll definitely hold off for next week. But I would like to know if anybody comments on this, and a quick from you, just a yes or no. Do you think NFT nodes and NFT games are going to take over nodes as the most, well, not NFT nodes, but NFT games are going to start and take over nodes as for the biggest protocol?
That's, to me, that's not a yes or no question. There's so much to that, though.
I
I
didn't
would
want to
say,
do it with like 2 minutes left. It's definitely something I want to talk about, but I
yeah.
think community went
My
longer than
my
expected, but it is important. I think that needs
Yeah,
to be known.
absolutely. The short answer to that is maybe.
Okay. Well, let me know your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to know. I'm actually looking at going to be looking at a game soon called Petaverse. That
Yeah,
looks pretty
talking about that.
interesting.
Yeah,
Which hopefully I'll be able to bring up a little more detail on next week. And maybe some other ones that are either going to be games or looking to incorporate games. So, I guess with that said, just run down real quick. Contexia had an issue with multi-sig.
multi-sig. Yep.
Um, both Lava and Leaf launched and went into a dip within a week. A lava or
Well,
Leaf within like two
it basically
hours.
did. It basically did whatever other
Yeah.
thing has done. It
So
rises and it drops. So,
don't be
um,
scared of it, but keep an eye on it.
yeah,
If you do like the project and you want to get in, a good
it's
time
pretty
may be
cheap.
coming. A good time may be coming up as long as it looks like it's stabilizing.
Right.
That's one thing I always recommend is wait for
Why?
launch, let it dip. If it doesn't dip, maybe put in a little bit and test it. But wait for the dip before you start really putting in on it of what you wanna, if that's a project you're doing, because it's eventually gonna happen. And I see a lot of people like losing a lot of money due to it. And even with rebase coins, which gives you high percentage yields,
Yeah.
it's still so much loss. It's going to take so long to come back. And with these yields and no utilities, like most of them, are they going to last that long to get your ROI back?
Right. Absolutely.
Uh, so
But one thing I want to say to you who are still listening at this point in time, um,
we will cut it
please,
down to
please,
5 minutes at some point, I promise, or 45
please,
minutes. Sorry.
please comment a name. You never know if the name is good and it catches. You may end up with a gift. Who knows? That's totally on me. Chris doesn't know about that, but I'm just saying, throw a name out
I
there.
didn't
You
know
never
about
know.
that, but I have a Best Buy card sitting on my wallet right now too.
so,
It's
so
probably
yeah.
empty, but
If you're still listening, toss a name in the comments. Just toss a name in there. It won't hurt. All the worst thing is, we're going to say is no. But more than likely, we'd probably say yeah because nobody's commented a name yet.
at least we are getting a few listeners. I did see a few
Yeah.
comments on the first one, but um, so I guess that's it for this week then.
Yes, sir.
All right, unless there's any other project news that you wanna cover that I didn't mention other than the Leaf Lava and Contexia that you could
No,
think of.
it's we hit all the big ones. I think
Okay.
all the ones that needed to be talked about.
Yep.
At least I feel.
And then there are a few projects that did update their websites. So Vapor did, Project X did. Um,
Yeah, yeah, that's right.
but I think that's really all the big ones that I came across or remember anyway.
Right.
Okay, well, I guess that's it then. Thanks for listening, and I hope everybody has a good day.
Yes, sir.